pleasure to be here to talk to all of you great persons. My name is Geary Reid. A pleasant good evening to all. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for your warm introduction, members of the head table, other dignitaries, special invitees, and participants. Welcome all. Introduction. This evening is a good evening for you to learn more about this important subject of money. Money is never enough, and most persons here would like to know how they can earn more money. That is a truth. May I say to you that I did not walk with any money to give to you. So I want it clear. However, I would like to share some knowledge and experience with you that will help you to become better stewards of the money that you already possess, or money that will become available to you. May I say to you, there are times that you have money, and if you waste it, you lose opportunities. But there are opportunities that suddenly become available to you that if you maximize, you can have greater money to work with. The subject, money matter, is a very broad one. But I want to narrow it down to address a topic that will be most fitting to you, and that is knowing your financial status. Let me share with you what I want to talk. I want to share with you today on knowing your financial status. In this topic, I will briefly address some important components that will help you to clarify the topic, knowing your financial status. Many persons will visit the doctor to know their health status. Some persons may visit the doctor willingly, while others may be forced to go. Their companion may say to them, please go and check the doctor. I believe you need a medical checkup. And there are times that employers will say to us, every year you need to do a medical checkup. Or if you come in for first-time employment, you need to have a medical checkup. Many persons are sometimes afraid to know their health status, but knowing is only intended to help you. Let me say this again. Many persons are sometimes afraid to know their health status, but knowing is only intended to help you, the individual. Similarly, knowing your financial status helps to address the following. One, what do you owe? Speaks about your asset. Money in the bank account, furniture at home. Second important question, what you owe, referring to your liabilities. You have hire purchase bill, you have utility bills to pay. Those are some liabilities. And the third important aspect, what are your future options? So if you have money, what then can you do? If you don't have money, what can you do? And so this brings the issue of borrowing and investment into consideration. Here are 4 areas that will give rise to a better understanding of this important topic. One is your revenue streams. Second being your expenses. Third, surplus or deficit. And fourth, savings or borrowing. Remember, we want to address the 3 important questions. 1, what is your asset? Second, your liabilities. And third, what options do you have? And so these 4 areas I will now address individually. Your revenue stream. This area of your financial status speaks to streams of money that will flow to you. In this area, you ought to know all the available streams you have that will cause money to come towards you. You must know about that. One of the revenue streams is your remuneration. And it speaks about your wages or salaries for those of us who are employed, at the end of the month you're looking for something to come to you. And for many persons, if the employer misses it by one day, we are already willing to take them probably to the court or somewhere because you know you have bills to take care of. If you are working for free, then you have to question yourself. Why am I utilizing my effort without gaining a legitimate return? It is important to remember that honest work will afford you the opportunity to earn an honest dollar. Remittances. For many persons, you may have friends and relatives overseas that will send to you every now and again some funds. If that is a regular feature, then you can put it up as one of your revenue streams. The other one, income from investment. You may have some extra money, as our first presenter talked about, and so you may want to take that money and either construct a building or get into some business, and at the end of the day, it will give you some return from that investment. And the fourth stream of revenue I would like to share is sales from business. You might be having some business, and you might be able to exchange the goods, products, and you'll be able to receive some money in return for that. So those are the 4 areas of revenue streams that I discussed here tonight. May I say to you, there are many other streams, but I'm just talking about these 4. Expenditure. Now that I've spoken about the first area of knowing your financial status under the subheading revenue stream, I must consider the second area, which is your expenditures or your expenses. Often there is an inflow, or I should say once there is an inflow, there's likely to be an outflow of your money. It is often surprising that your outflow or expenditure oftentimes increases without you giving it any permission. So as soon as you gain some additional money, you recognize your bills or something is beginning to increase without you giving any permission. One of the expenditures I want to share with you is your statutory deduction. As soon as you get $2, you recognize the income tax, if the specific percentage, automatically takes away more money from you to return. You also have your social security, you also have pension and other things that will also fall through as it relates to your statutory deduction. The other area is utility bills. And so once you have money, you also have to pay light bill, telephone bill, etc. You may not be living in your own place, and therefore you may have to pay rent for the place to which you occupy, unless you're living with your family member and they want to keep you there. But if you're over the age of 80, oftentimes they will try to see if you can be able to move off so that they can be able to manage your expenditures. But a good person like you, family may keep you as long as possible. Vehicle maintenance and fuel. For some of us who want to upgrade from walking or bicycle or motorbike, you may decide to have a vehicle. Once you have a vehicle, you must think about maintenance, and you must also think about the fuel bill. And also the size of the vehicle, the engine capacity will also determine the amount of fuel that you will utilize. The other thing is insurance, and you must consider that. You must consider life insurance, fire insurance. In the event if anything goes wrong, you have something to cushion you. And how can I forget this? Grocery. You need grocery as part of your expenditure. So if by chance you miss grocery on your list, I have grocery here for you as part of the expenditure. So now that we spoke about the revenue stream and then we spoke about the expenditures, I want to talk about surplus and deficit. If you're able to earn some amount of money and you have certain expenditure, then we will talk about a surplus or deficit. Therefore, if you're earning $100,000 and you have expenditure of $60,000, then you have a surplus of $40,000. But if you have a revenue stream of $100,000 an expenditure of $120,000, then you are in a deficit. And so bring me to the last key point, savings and borrowings. So if you know you have extra funds, therefore you can be able to save, you can maximize the return on your investment to see what's happening, so look at your best business option. And if by chance you don't have enough funds, then you can engage in borrowing. May I say to you, look at the terms and the condition as it relates to borrowing, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you find yourself challenging to offset that great mortgage or loan to get yourself off. In conclusion, let's recap the 4 areas of discussion: the revenue stream, expenditure, surplus and deficit, and savings and borrowing. Thank you for being a good audience. It is hoped that you will now address your financial matters more prudently, since you have now been equipped with some of the fundamentals that will help you of knowing your financial status. I want to thank you very much. Have a blessed evening.